Hi guys, this is Siman Stitches. I welcome you back to my channel. On today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew a simple free gown. This gown is going to be having a patched pocket at the front. I want you to come along as we learn together. So I've folded my fabric, both the front and the back together. Here is the front and this is the back. From here to here is my zip allowance line. So right about now, what I'm going to do is to take all my length measurements. So the next thing I'm going to be marking is my shoulder line. I'll be taking all my round measurements now. My shoulder line from here is 7.5. I'm going to be adding 0. I'm going to be adding half inch to it to make it 8. The half inch is for joining the shoulder to the sleeve. So that's my shoulder line, and on the shoulder line I will come down by 1 inch as for my shoulder slope. Then on this line I'm going to be taking my armhole measurement. So for this client, our armhole is 9 inches. So here you have your 9 inches. This is my 9 inches. Now I have my armhole line. The next thing I'm going to be taking is my shoulder width, neck width rather. The neck width for this is 3 inches, and the neck depth is going to be 3 inches as well. 3 by 3, 3 inches wide and 3 inches deep. Now for this design for the neck, I'm going to come down by 4.5 inches. So I'm just going to slit this place open. So I'll have my front armhole curved like this, and then I'll open this up. I'm going to be turning this width or facing. So this is just going to open up from here to here. And then for my neck, my back neckline, I'll be using 1.5 inches. For the back neckline, 1.5 inches. You remember I'm cutting both the front and the back together. So I'm just going to extend this like that, and I will make the neck curve for the back. So here is my neck for the back, and here is my neck for the front. The next thing I'm going to be doing now is the shoulder slope. I'm going to slant downward from the peak of my shoulder to meet the 1 inch that I drafted towards the armhole line. And after that, I'll draft my armhole. So for the front armhole, I'm going to find the midpoint for my armhole, which is 4.5, and I'll come out by 0.75. Then I'll connect it together. I'll be connecting this to the armhole line. I hope you can see that. And then I connect this to this. So I just drafted my armhole curve. For the front and for the back, I'm just going to go all the way without coming in. Okay, the next thing I'm taking now is my bust measurements. For my client, our bust is 10 inches. That is 40. 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. I will add 1 inch for the seam allowance. Then for the under bust, it is 8.5. I'm going to add 1 inch seam allowance, making it 9.5. Then for the natural curve, it is 9.5. I'm going to add 1 inch allowance. For the navel, it is 9.5 as well, making it 10.5 with 1 inch allowance. And for the hip line, the hip is 10.5. I'll be adding 1 inch, making it 11.5. That is exactly what I folded to save my fabric. And it is this 11.5. I'm just going to mark all the way to the length of the dress. I'm just going to mark my straight line downward. And then I connect the lines together. So for this point, I'll curve it out so that the edges will not be sharp. So you have a bent edge or round edge like that. And there you have it. Very simple and easy to make. Now I'm just going to trim out the lines that I've marked. I'll be cutting out the back armhole first. And then I'll cut the front neckline as well. And I'll slash this open. And with this, I'm done with my
main fabric, and so I'll move on now to cut the facing for turning the neckline of this dress, the front facing and also the back facing. So after that, I will go ahead and cut the other features of this dress, which are the sleeves and the patched pockets. Alright, so I have a video on how to cut a basic sleeve. Kindly check my channel. I'm going to put a link to the video for the sleeve in the description box. Likewise, I have a short video on how to cut a patched pocket, so I'm going to put that link also. It's very easy and simple to understand. Right, so after this I'm going to proceed to the sewing machine and begin sewing my cloth. The first thing I will do is to join the neck. So you carefully place the neck facing for the front, you carefully place it on the front part, and you stitch it with 0.25, that is quarter of an inch. You stitch it carefully, and when you get to that angle, that point where your neckline has the V shape, you turn your sewing machine to ensure that you do not exceed the 0.25. Look at the technique I'm using there. So you turn it and then you mark the other part, and then you move to the second side of the neck and you stitch it together. Very easy and simple. So you proceed also to stitch the facing for the back, making sure that they align correctly, the first half of the back and the second half of. Next, you take it to the ironing board and you iron out what you have just done. You can see that it's very neat. The result is always great. So the next thing you do now is to attach the patched pocket. So I'm attaching it using the hemming gum to keep it in place, and then after attaching the hemming gum, I moved to the sewing machine and I stitched the 3 sides. If you watch that video I told you about, it's going to be easier for you to understand. Trust me. So the next thing now is to attach the zipper at the back, to attach the zip to the back piece. So I'm going to be making a video on how to join the zip to the back of your dress. I'm going to be showing you 3 styles of adding the zip to whatever fabric you are making. It's very easy and simple. Kindly watch out for that video on my channel. So I attach the zippers and I ensure that they are well placed, making sure that there's nothing blocking its movement, so it makes it easy for whoever is going to be wearing it to trust me. So the next thing you do now is to turn the shoulders. You turn the right and the left shoulders, making sure that they are turned in a way that it's going to be inseam turning. So when you are stitching, the seam line will be invisible. So you, after turning this, you attach your sleeves, so the right and the left sleeves, ensuring that you are using the 0.5 inch, that's half of an inch, that you added while cutting. So now is the time you're going to be making use of it. So after attaching the sleeve, you hem your sleeve edge, so you hem it at the edge line, and then you are almost done with your clothing. And then after hemming the sleeves, you join the sleeves together using the accurate measurement of your round sleeve. You stitch it along the seam line, so you stitch it along the seam line, and then you also stitch the sides as well. I mean the sides of your main fabric. So you stitch it from the sleeve line all the way to the length of your dress using your seam allowance that you added while you were cutting. So you do it for the right side and you also do it for the left side. Trust me. The next thing you want to go ahead and do is to hem the length of your dress. So you remember we added hemming allowance while we were taking our measurement on the fabric. So you're going to be using that hemming allowance now. So you hem it using a flat seam stitch. So you're going to be rolling it now. You roll it twice, and then you ensure that your stitches are straight at the edge, very close to the edge of your folding. So you run a straight stitch all through from one angle to the other angle. This, you can see the dress is looking good and very comfortable for whoever is going to be wearing it. I hope this tutorial is helpful to you. Kindly like this video, kindly subscribe to my channel. Yes, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, share, leave a comment, ask questions. So I'm going to be seeing you guys in the next one. Thank you.